Let's talk some Kang, man. Let's talk some Kang Dynasty. Um, we know Jonathan Majors is a big part Kang Dynasty. There's been some things going around. We know Jonathan Majors is in the news right now for um, he has his DV case going on. We don't know what's the outcome of that. We don't know how far down the line that'll be resolved. Things of that nature. So I know Marvel is trying their best to come up with some type of resolution so they can go forward with the business at hand that they have to do. Kang Dynasty is a big part of what's going on in Avengers Phase 5, 6. I think, uh, is the future of what's going on. So they have to come up with what they can when it comes to Jonathan Majors. I was reading this. This is from GeekosityMag.com. They have an article titled "Jonathan Majors Kang Dynasty is on the brink of collapse," and it's written by Ringo Ordonez. I hope I'm saying that right. Um, Pretty lengthy article, but we'll read through it real quick. Jonathan Majors' leading role in the Marvel Avengers Kang Dynasty is on the brink of collapse. Jonathan Majors, who first gained attention for his portrayal of the villainous character in the first season of Disney Plus series Loki and the new installment in the MCU Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, has recently found himself embroiled in a legal matter related to an alleged case of domestic abuse involving Majors and a 30-year-old woman. Now that we already know, I've done some talk about that already. This incident has raised concerns that led to mounting pressure on Marvel Studios, the company behind the MCU, to consider recasting the pivotal role of Kang the Conqueror, but sources claim it is still unclear as to what yet to come for Majors. Right, so there has been no movement yet in Marvel saying that they're going to recast or they're not going to recast. I think they're sitting back to see what's going on. I saw a tweet today about what if this case takes up to 2-3 years down the line. What does Marvel do? You know what I'm saying? And that's a valid question. You know what I'm saying? From a business standpoint, I do you want your business wrapped up in this situation that's going on with Jonathan Majors? Then that's just real shit. Like, do you really want to, what I'm saying, hitch your wagon to this horse if this horse is about to go to jail or could have the potential of going to jail, and he, what I'm saying, the court just kicking the can 2-3 years down the road. You know what I'm saying? But even with every year that they kick the can down, the roars or whatever, the public sphere could get louder, the noise can get louder, you know what I'm saying? And with him being involved in the movies, things could look sour. That's one side of things, right? Another side of things is sometimes 2-3 years means that there's really nothing going on, you know what I'm saying? Nothing going on with the case could mean that he's innocent. Could mean that he didn't do nothing. They don't have enough evidence to really prosecute or go on about it, and sooner or later they might just drop it. Who knows? It's just real crazy when it comes to these things. You know what I'm saying? Continue with this article. It says Jonathan Majors Kang Dynasty on the brink of collapse. The gravity of allegations against the actors undoubtedly cast a shadow over the future involvement of the ongoing multiverse storyline that sets to culminate with the Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars. Those are the two big Avengers properties that's supposed to, like they said, come together um, in phase. What are we on? Phase 6. It's supposed to be, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Kind of how we had Avengers Endgame and we had uh, uh, what was it? Shit, I can't even think of the one that came before Endgame. But my mind is just bad right now. So, in the wake of these events, Marvel Studios finds itself in a challenging position. On one hand, there's a desire to ensure that the integrity of the productions and distance themselves from any association with misconduct. Right, that would be any company. Right, we're going to try to distance ourselves from any kind of misconduct. Make sure that we build some kind of a barrier between us and what we represent and what's going on in the courts. I get that. On the other hand, there may be a desire to grant Jonathan Majors the opportunity to address the allegations and legally resolve the matter before taking definitive action. That's saying I'm gonna stand by this guy while he goes through it because we don't know whether he's innocent or guilty. So we're gonna let him resolve these situations. Some companies do that. It seems Marvel is taking that approach. Hey, for one thing, we have a lot of money wrapped up into this guy. Let's just sit back and wait and see what's really going on. That also tells me another thing too, that with them sitting back and waiting, and this is just me, my speculation, that there might not be to, what I'm saying, concrete evidence one way or the other to say that he actually did it. You see what I'm saying? Because they could easily cut ties with this dude right here, right now, if they've seen something that shows that he's has done something egregious. And we know Disney has the money, the power, the cachet, the clout, whatever, to get a hold of whatever that evidence is. You know what I'm saying? And view at least some of it. Some of it would have leaked out towards them. They got fixers. They got people who can go and, talk to judges and get, trust me, these companies have that. So the ultimate decision regarding the recasting of the Kang Conqueror is likely to be influenced by the outcome of Jonathan Majors' court case, which is scheduled for later this summer. He just had the court, 2 weeks ago, he just went to court, um, basically just for a hearing, you know what I'm saying, fact finding type situation. So next month, I want to say they go back to court, or they resume. Uh, and we'll see from there. Marvel Studios is keenly aware of the potential repercussions associated with the casting choices and understands the importance of maintaining a positive image in the industry. As such, they are expected to take cautious approach, carefully weighing all the available information before making a final determination. So, to me, that's the best thing you can do. Best thing you can do is sit back and wait. Or how he's doing in the military. Hurry up and wait. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all you can really do right now. It's been a lot of bad press on Jonathan Majors, kind of, and even his lawyer came out and said a witch hunt, and it does seem like a witch hunt because we haven't seen anything that proves that he's done. Everything that we getting now in the news is all hearsay from the allegation side. It's all hearsay. Nothing has been proven. Nothing has been shown that would concur with that what he did. It hasn't. Nothing has shown that, right? But there has been stuff to the contrary. Has slowly leaked out, and you can perceive it how you want to perceive it. But to the opposite of that, evidence to prove his point or prove his side kind of has come out, right? And it would be up to you to make that determination whether it's good evidence or whatever. But we haven't seen anything that shows that he actually done it. D Stills, what up, man? What up? What up? What up? Let's see. Let's keep going. So we know that the upcoming season 2 of Loki is on Disney Plus, originally set to premiere October 6th, will likely share more light in the direction Marvel Studio intends to take with regards to Kang's portrayal. There's possibly that the reshoots or alterations may occur, and I'm hearing rumblings now that it has been some reshoots. I think I got another article to skim through real quick that talks about that. It says, while recasting remains an option, Marvel Studio typically prefers alternative solutions when faced with casting challenges. Ultimately, time will reveal how Marvel Studios navigates this complex situation. So I'm under the I, I'm under the thought process that they're gonna just sit back, wait, and see what's going on. Because right now, there's nothing, as far as we know, due to the part, there's nothing concrete on Jonathan Majors, um, and there's really no reason for him to, or for Marvel Studios to change their game plan right now. Right? There's really no reason to change the game plan. So I don't see why it's a lot of people coming out, or a lot of these news sites and things of that nature saying he's been fired, or what I'm saying, they're changing how things is going on when it comes to Kang Dynasty and what Marvel is doing. Like, just kill that noise. That shit is not true. It's not true. And there's no evidence to show that that's what's going on. They even tried to bring up, oh, they took him off uh the promotional stuff when it comes to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And then, what I'm saying, you go and look back how Marvel markets their DVDs or their Disney Plus stuff. They never really mention the villain. You know what I'm saying? They never really do that. So it's just a big nothing burger, man. And um, I wish they'd quit acting like that's what it is. But like I said, I do got another article from the Direct. Says Marvel reportedly changed MCU's Phase 6 plans due to the Loki actor, and that Loki actor, being um, Jonathan Majors, right? Let me see. D still says, I feel some story rewrites might be happening just in case. Yeah, I do believe that they are, you know what I'm saying, just like the article said, taking precautions into what to be done. I'm a storyboard some shit out to where if whatever happens with Jonathan Majors, I can change up so I'll be ready. It's one thing to be ready, you know what I'm saying? And it's another thing to just let's cut him out and we're gonna freestyle, you know what I'm saying, the rest of phase 6, because that's basically what would happen. If they cut him out right now, they would have to freestyle, you know what I'm saying, the rest of phase 6, phase 5, phase 6. You know what I'm saying? That's what they would have to do. I doubt Marvel would want to do that. They already don't have the best writers in the world. You see, they firing all these writers. They looking back and saying, trash, trash, trash. We got to get rid of this guy. Loveness, you gone. You know what I'm saying? All the Rick and Morty guys, y'all got to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying? You see, that's what they doing. So, yeah, it would be silly. So, like I said, this article is from the direct. Major change to phase 6 for the MCU. Says according to a new report, phase 5 and 6 of the MCU was not always as Kang focused as it currently looks. So okay, so they're saying that what phase 5 and 6 now is a rewrite or a redo. Like it wasn't always this way. Speaking on the Ringers Big Picture podcast, writer and author of the upcoming MCU The Reign of Marvel Studios book, Joanna Robinson, claimed that she heard it was not the plan to make Kang the center of everything. In the later phase of the multiverse saga, but after Marvel Studios brass saw the dailies from Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and after Jonathan Majors' performance in Loki, they decided to focus on the actor and his Kang character more heavily. Now, before I read these quotes, I kind of believe that, because remember we was hearing rumblings about Doctor Doom was supposed to be in the Black Panther Wakanda Never. You know what I'm saying? He was Doctor Doom. It was rumors of Doctor Doom supposed to be in that. And if you watch the movie, they kind of set up, you can kind of get a feel of like Doctor Doom in that movie. You know what I'm saying? Or places where Doctor Doom could be inserted in the movie, or where they removed Doctor Doom from that movie. And this would have been prior to Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. So I can kind of see that. She says, I was told by someone who works for Marvel it was not the plan to make Kang the center of everything until they saw the dailies from Quantumania and after his performance in Loki, which was strong. So they were like, this is it. This is our way forward. We've lost our varsity hero team, but let's set up around the guy Kang and this performer that so many people are reacting to. So they're saying that because Jonathan Majors was such a dynamic actor that they went ahead and said, fuck it. We're gonna put all our eggs in our basket for this guy. And I've never seen, I guess with Thanos, they put it, you know what I'm saying? Thanos, he was in the background, but he didn't when did Thanos show up? Thanos didn't show up until, was it the Avengers movie? So you had, by that time, I think 4 movies had came out. Iron Man 1 and 2 came out, Thor had came out, Captain America had came out by that time. By the time the Avengers got together, and we got Thanos. If let me know if I'm wrong. Before we got even a hint of Thanos, that's when that happened. So if they did that, that's, I don't want to say that that's kind of silly, but I mean Jonathan Majors did put on a good performance in Loki. His performance in Ant-Man and the Quantumania, it was good, but I don't know about making him the guy. You know what I'm saying? That would have made me say, okay, we need to, Kang is the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like when Marvel had backup plans if they couldn't get Spider-Man. Right. You gotta have backup plans. That only makes sense. Right. Avengers 1, Josh Whedon. Right. So, and they kind of developed the whole Infinity Stone saga and all of that around, you know what I'm saying? So it made sense to do that with Kang. This does kind of seem a little, I don't know. Now that with her saying that, it kind of seems a little forced. The writer acted that she will argue Marvel has never hung so much of a franchise on one actor. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, I don't think they've ever put all their eggs in one basket for one actor the way that they're doing with Jonathan Majors, which puts the studio in a hard place given the actor's recent legal troubles. True. Quote, this is her quote. She says, I don't think you or I are very interested in saying what Marvel should or shouldn't do going forward, but we know that this is a huge problem for them that they are facing and grappling with right now. What's unprecedented in this for Marvel is, I will argue, they have never hung so much of a franchise on one actor as they've tried to hang it on Jonathan Majors after his Loki performance and his Ant-Man Quantumania performance. Uh, she mentioned she believes Marvel unused position is largely because of the hanging this much on one person in the way that they have. I will argue more than Downey as Iron Man, more than Brolin as Thanos, that hanging everything on this guy is then going to pop up in all of their properties leading up to something called the Kang Dynasty has put them in a very unusual position. They don't usually hang this much on one person the way they did here, which is, and it's crazy because it makes it hard for them to pivot. Like, if Jonathan Majors with his legal troubles going on, they can't pivot. Right now, they can't pivot. Right, the way they did Thanos. If they didn't want to do Thanos after that first Avengers movie, they could have pivoted. They could have brought in Doom. They could have brought in whoever. Right, they could have done that. Shit. Uh, Even after that Avengers, Loki to me should have still stayed the main guy. You know what I'm saying? I think they kind of brought Thanos in too soon. When I go back and I look at everything, you know what I'm saying? I think they should have probably concentrated on Loki being the guy, you know what I'm saying, being the big bad, and then they could have rolled Thanos in later, Ultron in later. You know what I'm saying? They did kind of slide these, but I understand they didn't have everybody back then too. You know what I'm saying? So I understand they were handcuffed. So I get that. You don't need Kang as the big bad for multiple phases when you get Doctor Doom and Apocalypse. Right? They got bad guys, big bads too, like bad guys, and they're doing a lot with name Kang Dynasty. Everything is Kang. When they went multiverse heavy, to me is when they messed up. When everything became the multiverse, to me is when they messed up. You know what I'm saying? Ultron should have been saved for post Endgame, right? And exactly, they just went. But like I said, it could have been because they was handicapped. You know what I'm saying? They was handcuffed. They didn't have all of the villains that they wanted to use. Galactus, they couldn't use Apocalypse. You know what I'm saying? Silver Surfer could have showed up as a bad guy and then been. Because to me, how they did Loki, Silver Surfer could have been that. You know what I'm saying? Show up being a big bad or a big threat, and then you know what I'm saying. Come to find out, he's really gonna fight for humanity because his story. And I think that would have been a real dope galvanizing story for not just the audience, for the audience to grapple with and see, because they make a lot of these villains, they humanize a lot of these villains, but to have that big contrast, you know what I'm saying? But see what the rest of this article says. Kang was not always the plan. With such a major focus having been put on Jonathan Majors and his multiversal Marvel villain, this is the first indication that he was not initially going to have as much of the Phase 6 spotlight as it looked like he is supposed to, at least with plans that they currently have. So yeah, man, they have no pivot room, right? Because of what's going on with Jonathan Majors. If he is found guilty, where do they go? I guess that's my question. Where do they really go? I know they can recast Kang, right? And I guess I wouldn't necessarily be mad at it, but is that next guy going to have? Because from what I'm understanding or gathering from this article, the only reason why Kang is the man is because of Jonathan Majors. Only reason why you're even thinking about Kang going forward is because of Jonathan Majors' performance. You get another actor in there, you recast. Is he gonna have the same gravitas, the same gravity, the same atmosphere that Jonathan Majors takes up? You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you recast and then the audience doesn't connect. You see what I'm saying? If the audience don't connect with that actor without, you know what I mean? And I don't know. It's hard to pivot. It's just hard to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Just don't kill the actor off, or just don't kill the character off. There, if Jonathan Major ends up guilty, don't kill Kang. Don't kill. Just if you can move on from Kang and go someplace else, and then you can revisit Kang. Don't pull a Black Panther. Marvel do not pull a Black Panther, because that was you taking the shotgun and shooting both of your feet off when you did that. When you killed Black Panther in the movie, that was the dumbest idea, stupidest idea in the world. I don't know what made y'all even think that. So don't do it until you can come up with something better. till you can find an actor that would fit that, you know what I'm saying, that role. Just put him on the back burner. Trust me. The audience, us as the audience, we will be okay. We understand. We're not stupid. I don't know why y'all thought we was dumb or idiots. We understand when an actor gets in trouble or when an actor dies or when they can't do something. We understand that. We understand if you have to recast, we get it. We get it. Uh D still says Loki could have teamed up with the Enchantress. Right, right. It was they got the story is there that they could have pulled from to have the longevity of Loki as their Darth Vader, right? Loki could have been their actual Darth Vader with Thanos as the Senator Palpatine in this big vast universe far, far away that they could have put together. But I think they just gave us too much real quick. And now they really don't, when it comes to big bads, they really don't have a proper setup. How are they going to slide the X-Men in so we can get Apocalypse and all of the villains that come with that? They're barred. Spider-Man doesn't even belong to them, so they can't use no Spider-Man villains, right? Um, Galactus, how do you slide Galactus in? You know what I'm saying? It's things like that, right? And that's why when Nate Moore said he doesn't hire writers who know the material, well, when you do that, you get a convoluted story where nothing fit. If you have a universe, because you're supposed to have a linear universe, your universe is all connected. You know what I'm saying? But then you have this right over here has this one idea, this right over, and they don't connect. They really don't connect. And right now, Marvel has painted themselves in a corner. That's what they're doing right now. And they're trying to figure out how the fuck do we get out this corner? But it's gonna be hard. The multiverse makes writers lazy because it's a cop out on everything, right? So that's one thing. You're not hiring the most talented writers that you can get. So you're harming yourself. It's you know what I'm saying? Yeah, facts on BP for real. And I don't like the anti-hero Loki neither. I need the diabolical, mischievous, conniving, you know what I'm saying? God of mischief. That's what I need. The God of light. You know what I'm saying? The real Loki, where he at? Will the real Loki please stand up? But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all think about what can Marvel do. They, is the pivot there? Is it not there when it comes to this Kang Dynasty stuff? Um, what really can they do with the Jonathan Majors situation? Like I said, I don't know whether he's guilty, whether he's innocent. I do like that Marvel is from what it understands from my uh, point of view, they're standing by him. I do like that. That says a lot to me, but it's gonna be a hard if they have to make a pivot, it's gonna be a hard pivot. It's gonna be hard to pivot, I should say. Hard to pivot. So y'all let me know. Yeah, now listen. Yes, yeah. That would be special with what I'm saying. Guardians of the Galaxy. If they're doing this next phase or whatever they're gonna do with the Guardians of the Galaxy, Annihilation Wave, it better play a part. It better play a part. That would, to me, that's 3 movies right there within itself. That's 3 movies within itself, culminating with getting the original Guardians of the Galaxy team that we, I'm saying, that just, if spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm saying, getting the original squad back together to take out Annihilus and Annihilation. And maybe that brings Thanos back into the fold. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Loki's good for creating mad mischief and getting whooped by Thor. Right. Right. And he should, you know what I'm saying? He should be the guy that when I need a standalone story or something, a standalone movie, he could pop up, and the whole reason why these things, these machinations is happening is because of him. You know what I'm saying? Because of him. And even just, he could just be mentioned. He can be, he could have a cameo, but him being a good guy, I don't really like. Loki ain't no good guy, man. Loki's not an anti-hero. Loki's a bad guy, no matter what. Yeah, the builders. Yeah, indeed, indeed.